Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dr. Sis here today with my public health briefing. In this briefing, I'm going to give you a really cool way to burn fat, get rid of excess unwanted weight without consciously reducing your calorie intake whatsoever. All right? And I'm going to dispel some myths that just won't go away, that need to die. And that myth, the first myth I'm going to dispel, is the one that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It's like, all right, well, where did that come from? Where's the good research that shows that we should get up and eat breakfast right away because that's the most important, more important than any other meal? It came from breakfast food companies. So what they did is they paid researchers to do studies showing that we need to start each day with breakfast, and breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And the best breakfast you could have is the typical American breakfast foods, which obviously what makes a breakfast food a breakfast food? Marketing. So what are typical American breakfast foods? Pancakes, muffins, waffles, cereal, right? Toast and jelly. And then you have, what are they, a glass of orange juice or glass of apple juice with it. All right, think about this. Here's something to think about. What is birthday cake made out of, right? What's birthday cake made out of? Refined grains, sugar, maybe a little milk, right? What's a pancake made out of? Refined grains, sugar, a little bit of milk. What's a muffin made out of? Refined grains, sugar. Cereal, refined grains, sugar. How many different breakfasts are we eating and giving our kids on a regular basis that are just birthday cake in flattened forms, right? I mean, think about a pancake. So pancake is refined grains, right? Sugar, maybe a little egg in there, I don't know, and squished. So it's a flat birthday cake. Instead of frosting, you put syrup on top. And then instead of having soda with it, you have juice. Right? And that's another myth, is that you've been told that juice is healthy and good for you. So I looked it up really quick. A 12-ounce can of Mountain Dew has 46 grams of sugar. The first 12-ounce bottle of orange juice I looked up has 33 grams of sugar. And you may be thinking, well, yeah, but the orange juice has vitamin C. The only reason there's vitamin C in there is they add ascorbic acid, right? Just so they can write 100% daily intake of vitamin C on the label to try and sell it to you. It does not come close to overriding the negative impact of 33 grams of sugar. So what does this have to do with losing weight easily throughout the day subconsciously? So really cool research out there, and this makes perfect sense. Let's say you have two breakfasts. Both are 500 calories. One, this is what one of the studies I did, was oatmeal. The other one is healthy fat and protein together, like eggs. So if you eat healthy fats and proteins together, really nutrient-dense healthy fat and proteins like eggs, throughout the day, subconsciously, you just eat far less, far less. So if you bring in less calories throughout the day, that means you store less, burn more, you lose weight without even thinking about it. If you eat the sugary stuff, right, and just so you know, carbohydrates, all they are sugars bound together. So if you bind sugars together, you can create a carbohydrate, refined grains, to make pancakes. So when your body eats it, digestion means break that apart into simple sugars. So it's like one step away from eating spoonfuls of sugar. Whole bunch of sugary calories, very little nutrition. You get a sugar spike, mid-morning you crash, right? And what are you craving? More sugary garbage food. Rinse and repeat. All that excess calories with very low nutrition packs on the weight in all the areas we don't want it. So it's a really awesome, simple trick we can do, is instead of listening to the marketing machine and eating the nonsense, easily digestible, high-processed breakfast foods, we start with good, healthy, whole fats and proteins. So I love starting with eggs. Another thing I love to do is I'll grill a whole bunch of chicken thighs or bake a bunch of chicken thighs. I just have them in the refrigerator. So in the morning, it takes me seconds, right? It's like, oh, I don't have time to eat healthy. Nonsense. Reach in the refrigerator, or I'll do this with burgers, venison, whatever. Grab a piece of meat or ham. I mean, there's so many options. Grab a piece of a chicken thigh with a few nuts. Boom. Just like that, you have loads of very nutrient-dense, good quality food in your body, which is going to keep you full longer, so you eat less throughout the day. So without even thinking about it, without any extra effort, you lose the unwanted weight, plus get more good nutrition in your body, so your body functions better, your immune system goes up, you have more energy. Everything about it's a win, right? So I love starting my day. Eggs, meat and nuts, avocado is a great thing to have with some meat in the morning. Super simple, super good for you. Another thing I love to do is like to have my fish oil, my omega-3 fats in the morning. Why? It's a good, healthy fat that keeps me full longer, and it's a fat that your body needs to survive and be healthy, and most people are deficient in it. One thing that I find is people were overfed and starving. Like, well, how is that possible? Because we eat the muffins, the pancakes, the waffles, the chips, the oatmeal, whatever. So you get a whole bunch of calories, but very little nutrition, right? And your body needs good nutrients to function. So your body, it's like when it's deficient in good nutrition, like omega-3 fats, it creates hunger because it wants you to put that good nutrition to its body. But instead, we feed it garbage foods, and then we're always hungry, always hungry, always hungry, because our body is craving nutrition, good nutrition. So you get, most of us are deficient in omega-3 fats. So it's just one thing, I have it in my refrigerator. I like to have it in the morning because that, with the good food, keeps me satiated longer, and I just eat less throughout the day. Cool? So the big tip from today's public health briefing is breakfast is not your most important meal of the day. All your meals are equally important. It's just very important that you choose the good foods for any of your meals, okay? Super, super good. 2, starting your day with a good nutrient-dense fat or protein like eggs or avocado or nuts and chicken thighs or something like that keeps you full longer, so you eat less throughout the day, so you lose unwanted weight without even thinking about it. This applies to my whole family, right? So this is another tip for you, bonus tip. People like to ask me, like, well, what about your kids? So my daughter just turned 2, my son just turned 5. They eat the exact same, my 2-year-old daughter eats the exact same foods as her meathead old man, right? Just less of it. And not much less, because they eat so much food, it's mind-blowing. Another little tip is, like, kids, how can they get away with eating so much food? About 40% of the energy is burned up in their brain. Like, they're learning, and they should be learning so much and so active. Like, they're burning so much, and they haven't had their hormones screwed up yet, to where they're just, they're burning instead of storing. Back up, that's another thing too with eating the refined grains and the typical standard American nonsense breakfast that we've been marketed to think are important and good for us, is over time, you keep eating that garbage, it messes up your hormones, so your body goes into fat storage mode instead of burning mode, right? There's just so many reasons to follow this tip I gave you, but my point is, back to my kids, is they eat the exact same things as I do. The only difference is they eat a little bit less of it, right? And when you look at really intelligent, sustainable eating habits, that's the only way to do it. We have to do things that all of us can do forever. Otherwise, if you quit and go back to where you were, any gains you made disappear. So the only wise thing is to make choices that turn to habits that last forever for you and your family.